like follow up from Wayne. Bring you back to D1.
Yeah. That's
Since you were doing injections so far, obviously. So your next visit will be the same day. The same day. Or you want to, or no dates.
Hey guys, it's Angela with Recreation Health and Wellness. How are you doing today? I just wanted to let you know I'm here and we are ready to roll. So let's have some fun. Let's talk about some GLPs. Let's talk about health and wellness and how we can make ourselves happy and healthy. So what is going on with you today? Well, it looks like TikTok is not going to put out. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So my other page, Recrea Health, is just getting up there. All right. So we have two pages, Recrea Health and Recrea Wellness, and it looks like we are live on both. All right. And what is everybody up to today? I am here to answer any questions that you might have. It looks like I actually am planning on being live tomorrow as well. I should be on probably about 9 o'clock, probably 9:30. Somebody says they were supposed to get injected with 12.5 on Monday and I got too scared. Oh, and I walked out. Oh, well, if your first injection was 12.5, that's way too much. I would not do that for sure. But don't be scared. This stuff is amazing. It's life-changing. That's my picture in the background. So I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't your first. Oh, 1.25. I'm sorry. I see that now. That's still a little bit high, but 1.25. Yes, it was supposed to be my first shot. Actually, our first injection is 0.25. So, yeah, 0.25 is what we inject. And so that's way too high, definitely. Kim, I have been on here, dear. I have been on here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday for the past few weeks. So women tend to be 1 to 3 a week. Guys are 3 to 5 a week. So the answer to your question, Lady Joe, is yes. That is more than plenty. And well, I'm assuming Lady Joe means lady, but I could be wrong. But yes, ladies are 1 to 3 a week. Guys are 3 to 5. Yeah. I've been here, Kim. I have been here. You just must be missing me. Sorry, Lady Joe. You know, you can't assume these days. You just can't assume. I have to be careful. You know, we watched 90 Day Fiance and there was a lady boy on there. And so, you know, I have to ask these questions. Okay, now that we got that all cleared up and, you know. Okay, so somebody said they don't seem to be working for me. All right, that has actually been a very common comment for a lot of people here lately. So what I posted a video on Saturday that has done very, very well on the Recrea Health side. It hasn't done so well on the Recrea Wellness page. But what I would really recommend is watching that video if you don't think they're working for you. But the other big thing that I would highly recommend, and this is a video that's on my Recrea Health side, is that you go to my Recrea Health page and you watch this video. It's actually orange and black. And it's what you need to know before you inject. Because I don't think it's the medication so much that's not working. Actually, I do think it's the medication that's not working. And the reason it is because what's happening is you guys aren't getting the right concentrations from the pharmacies and the online places that you're getting these from. Because what we do is we actually have the highest concentration. So our prices, our S is $2.99 and our T is $4.50, and that's in most states. And I could care less if you guys are buying these from me. I am not giving you medical advice, so let me just clear that up because on Tuesday somebody was trying to beat me up on here. But I am a nurse practitioner. I do service 47 states. I actually just found somebody that can cover the 3 states that I can't do. But I'm worried about the concentrations that you guys are getting, and I'm thinking that's why they're not effective. Because in my clinic and the people that I service typically they lose. And I'm wondering if that's what the issue is with what you're getting. So I have been seeing, and look at your labels, because I think a lot of the concern or a lot of the issue is coming from what's on your label. So I want you to look at your labels. And if your label is, if your label says anything less than for S, 5 milligrams / 1 ml, if it says anything less than that, then you need to reach out to me. Or if it's T and it says anything less than 20 milligrams / 1 ml, you need to reach out to me, because I think the reasoning that it's not working is because your concentration is low. And I think that's what's going on. Everybody, if you could please share my live, that would be wonderful. We're going to be on here for a little bit. I know it is after lunch, but if you could please share my live, that would be wonderful. And if you could please follow both of my pages, that would be wonderful also. So it's Recrea Health and Recrea Wellness. I noticed GLP makes me dizzy. So if it's when you stand up, a lot of times that has to do with your blood pressure and your heart rate. So dizziness with standing or position change, a lot of times is your blood pressure and your heart rate. So if you've had a big WL, then what you need to do is you need to talk to your provider, always. Anytime you have any symptoms like these, you need to talk to your providers, because what's happening is it could be the W that you've had. It could be that if you're on medications for your heart, that could be causing this. It could be hydration causing this, because you need to be very well hydrated. So what I would recommend is talking to your provider to find out what's going on, because there's definitely something happening there, which is of concern. So reach out to your provider, have them check your blood pressure, have them check your heart rate, check, see if you're hydrated, because if you're having any kind of dizziness, you don't want to have that, and that's not a normal side effect. So definitely reach out on that. All right. Thank you guys for getting these questions in. That's awesome. I really do appreciate it. How many weeks are those prices for? So my prices are for 4 weeks. All right. I'm getting Z from Lily Direct. Very frustrated for 5 milligrams. It is frustrating. I understand that. So I would recommend reaching out to us, TLC, and we can definitely help you. Yeah. And you know, dizziness is not normal. Sorry, guys. It is so cold here. We're getting snow on Monday, they say. Yeah, that bad word. I'm sorry, but my nose is running from the cold. I've been doing 7.5. I'm sorry about that. I've been doing 7.5 for 2, down 8. So 1 to 3 a week for women is normal, and then 3 to 5 a week is normal for guys. Going up and down can be normal, especially if it's around your time of the month for women. That can definitely affect it. If you've had something salty, that can increase. So there's a lot of things that can affect that and that can make it normal. We do free consultations. So if you ever are just curious, or if you ever just want to, reach out to us, because we can do a free consultation just to kind of give you some information. If you just have questions, DM anytime, and we can give you a free consultation. Did Eli drop their prices? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't been able to watch TV lately. So, especially today. I haven't watched any TV today. So I couldn't answer you if they did. Oh, somebody else said yes, they did. Do you guys want to throw in the comments for self-pay, and how much was that? Because, I mean, I'm sure some people would like to know. Because I don't deal with the directs. I don't deal with, do you know which dose that's for? There's a conversation going on over at the Recrea Health page that they said the Eli for direct pay they dropped their prices. So I guess there was a conference today. And so Eli Lilly produces
You make me think I want one.
all doses for Medicare.
Cause she's.
Okay, I will find out, guys, and I will post a video. Actually, last time I tried to post a video about them directly, I got in trouble. So if you guys want to go, actually, I can't even tell you where to go because I got in trouble for doing that the last time. But if you want to go and look at Eli Lilly direct and see about that, you are more than welcome to, because I got in trouble anytime I mentioned anything about that. All right, now I'm on 10 and no L, PCOS stage 3. Why isn't it working? A lot of times I've noticed when people have an increase in their doses, sometimes they're not working. So you have to look at your calories. You have to look at the calories, your BMI, your protein. Protein is so important that it's insane how important it is. So what your protein is going to do is, if you're not getting enough protein, you're going to have increased hunger, you're going to have increased cravings. You're also going to have, if you don't have enough protein, you're going to have hair loss and muscle loss. So you need to make sure that you're getting your protein. So I highly recommend getting at least 100 grams a day for women and 120 grams a day for guys. So you need to make sure that you are getting that protein. But for PCOS and diabetics, if you're not, it's harder. Just because you have more insulin resistance for both of you. So you have to make sure that you're being extra diligent in the calories, and you're being extra diligent in the protein and the activity and all of those different things. Because if you're not, then it's even harder to have that L. So you have to really be careful with all of those other things, because it is harder to have all of that. Okay. So, and then, the only time that I really recommend going up in dose is when you have increased hunger and craving, or after you've tried to increase your protein and that hasn't worked, then that's when I say go ahead and go up in that hunger and craving, because that will definitely help you. So if you do go up, just make sure that you are very careful, and make sure that you talk to your provider first. Is there a dietitian you can go to help? I'm in Virginia. I know I'm not getting enough protein. So calorie intake too. So BMR is where we start here at the clinic. We start with your BMR. I actually don't tell people to start counting calories until they get into that BMI of 24.9 to 28 or 29. Then, or if they hit that stall, then that is when we start telling people, okay, now it's time to start counting those calories. Then what you do is you get your BMR. Now you can get your BMR by getting one of those scales that gives you your BMR. So when you're looking at scales, you can actually, you want your muscle mass, you want your BMR, and then you also it's good to get your water mass as well. So when you're looking for a scale, if you can get that information, perfect. Some gyms have those and they can give you that information as well. So what you do is you get your BMR, and then you take 200 to 300 less than that, then that gives you your caloric deficit. So when you get your caloric deficit, but you never want to go less than 1200 for your caloric deficit, because your body needs at least 1200 calories a day in order to function. If you were laying in a dark room, just your heart beating, your brain working and breathing, you need at least 1000 calories. So if you're up walking around, you have to have that 1200 calories. So that's what we tell people, and that's what I've been telling people for the last 4 years, and it's been very effective. Okay. So you get your basal BMR, basal metabolic rate, and then then we tell people get your complex carbs, which is your anything made naturally in the earth is complex carbs. 25% of your diet is your complex carbs. So that is anything naturally in the earth. That's your vegetables, your roots, your potatoes, your whole grains, your oats. Then 75% of your diet is your protein. Okay. I tell her you have to do shakes. You have to. Protein has to come. It's hard to eat enough protein and stay in a caloric deficit. So what you need to do is get your protein, and I do 2 shakes a day usually, and then I have my one meal, which is usually dinner with the family. So that is typically what I do. So that is what I recommend, and that's what most people in my clinic do, and it works very well. But if you ever are questioning, talk to your providers. Your providers that are giving you these injections should be the ones that are helping you figure this out. If they aren't, you can come to us. You can DM us, and we would be more than happy to help you. We cover in 47 states, and I have another provider that I work with that covers the 3 that I don't. And our pricing is $299 for S and $450. And we, like I said, we do the free consultation, and we're more than happy because I know some of you can't get a hold of your people that you're buying this stuff from. And I know there are cheaper prices out there than what we do, and I get it. I understand it 100%. Okay. All right. Hang on a second. Yes, we do service California. So we are absolutely, the only 3 states that we don't cover is Wisconsin, Kansas, and New York. But like I said, the other provider that I work with, she does cover those other 3 states. So we can absolutely help you. All right. I got, hang on a minute. They jumped all the way down to the bottom here. So I got caught back up. Before you increase your dose, make sure you talk to your provider. My pricing is at the top of the scroll if you want to go look at that. Can perimenopause cause your GLP to stop working? Typically, no, it doesn't make it stop working. Actually, the GLP can do the opposite and help your perimenopause. But the perimenopause does affect your insulin resistance, so they can kind of fight against each other for a little bit until it gets figured out. Dizziness is listed as a side effect. So dizziness, yes, okay, fine. It is listed as a side effect, but I think it's listed to every single medication side. It's a side effect to every single medication that's out there. But I don't want you to just say, oh, it's a side effect, and then chuck it off and not go get it checked. Because even if it is listed as a side effect, you need to make sure that you're getting it checked and it not being hypertension or, orthostatic hypotension, or it being a change in your heart rate or something like that. You don't want to just chuck it off as being a side effect. You want to make sure that it's not something else, or that, maybe the L that you've had is, your medications are too strong now. So you really do need to get it checked, because I have had multiple patients that are on heart medications. Now, all of a sudden they're having dizziness. And if they didn't get it checked, they're going to start having a lot more problems, and their medications are needing adjusted because they now have problems with their blood pressures being too strong, or the medications being too strong. So you don't want to just say, oh, it's a listed side effect and not have it checked. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because just because it's a listed side effect, don't just say, oh my gosh, it's a listed side effect and not have it checked, because it can be dangerous. All right. What's the R dose? I do not, cannot, will not prescribe R. I'll lose my license if I prescribe R. R is not released by Lilly. Okay? Lilly is still researching it and has not released it. R is not legal in the United States. R is only being prescribed by the gray market. It is coming from out of the country. It is only available research only, and it is not FDA approved, and it is not in the state of Ohio. I've been told by the Board of Pharmacy that I am not allowed to prescribe it. So as a licensed provider with a United States license, I am not allowed to prescribe it. So I have no recommendations for R. If I have a thyroid, can I get it prescribed still? I think you mean if I don't have a thyroid. Yes, you can. The only thyroid issue that you cannot take this with is thyroid medullary cancer. You or anybody in your family has had thyroid medullary cancer, you cannot take this. I just found your page. I thought that T could no longer be prescribed. Yes, tea can be prescribed. It is completely fine to be prescribed. What happened was back in May, we can no longer give it out of our clinics. So we are no longer allowed to have it in our clinic, give it to you, and you go home with it. But we are allowed to have it shipped to your home. So that is what we do. Why do I have horrible upper stomach pain, diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting? Horrible sulfur bursts. Okay. You should not have stomach pain. That's not a normal side effect. Some people do have nausea. Vomiting is also not normal. To me, it sounds like your dose is too high. Or you have some kind of a stomach virus, which is not good either. So I would not inject again until you speak to your provider. You may want to go to the emergency room or urgent care because vomiting is not normal and stomach pain is not normal. Now, nausea and diarrhea can be normal, or you ate something that you shouldn't have, but you should contact your provider immediately or go to an urgent care because that's not good. See, Marie, that is not normal side effects, and that's something that I would say needs to be looked at immediately. Same with you, Monica. Throwing up and stomach pain is not normal. Vomiting is not normal, and that means that your dose is too high, or that means that you got something different, or you could have stomach or food poisoning or something like that. That's not normal. So you definitely want to go get that checked. See, Marie, go get that checked. That's not normal. Okay. Hello, Goat for Real. I had to stop mine because it was making me very agitated. That's not a normal side effect as well. So I would highly recommend that you talk to your provider about that. And I have actually heard that more with T than with S. A lot more people are having agitation, increased anxiety with T or MJ than they do with any of the S products. That I posted a video on Recrea Health, that have had a lot more of the anxiety and agitation, and that on my Recrea Health page, which was very interesting to me. Just ordered pills and then read after that they aren't as effective. So yes, I have heard the same thing. I've actually never prescribed the pills. I have had people come to me that have tried them and they have said the same thing, that pills are not as effective. If you're interested in trying the shots, I can definitely help you. You just need to DM me and we can definitely take care of you. Anybody that is interested in a free consultation, we can definitely help you as well. So just reach out to us. We can definitely talk to you. If you're having any kind of eye issue, vision issue, you need to go see the eye doctor immediately and they can help you. Please reach out to them. If you're having low blood sugar, you need to reach out to your provider. They need to talk to you. Some people have low blood sugar and they just need protein with every meal. It's just as simple as that. Don't go more than, like 8 hours without eating. You need to have protein with every meal. Some people just tend to have the hypoglycemia, but you need to make sure that you're eating protein every time something goes in your mouth. Sometimes if you eat a high simple carb or a high sugar or a high glycemic meal, then what happens is that sugar goes up, the insulin goes up, and then it bottoms it out. And that's what causes that hypoglycemia. No, these don't normally just cause that, but that's what's going on. They said if your state approves it for Medicaid, it will be covered under it. It can, but there's still a lot of restrictions. So you just have to figure out what Medicaid will cover it for. And each state's Medicaid is going to be different. So you just have to figure out what's going on. All right. If you are staying sick on these and you have stomach issues, Monica, first of all, you need to work with your provider. Your dose is too high. You need to work with your provider or talk to your provider and get your dose decreased because you should not be having so many stomach issues. That's not good. Or you're eating a lot of the wrong things, which it doesn't sound like you are. I think your dose is just too high. I just got bumped to 5 milligram Z vials, but I want 2.5. Can I split? You need to talk to your provider. case, I think that's how you say that. Because they need to tell you what to do, because I don't work with vials very much. And then each vial is different. Not one vial is treated like another vial, and you need to work with your provider because they need to give you the information to be able to tell you if you can split it or not. And then they need to tell you how to split it, because it's, versus units and mLs, and then which syringes you have. So I would just call your provider and talk to them. If you absolutely are unable to get a hold of your provider, then DM us and then we can help you figure it out. But we've got to be able to do more than just on here. So it's a little bit, I need more information. Have you had patients that had success gained and then back? Yes, we have. Because if you go back to your old habits, then you definitely are going to G back. And what we have to do is we have to talk to you and help you figure out what happened. And then, don't ever cold turkey off of these, because if you cold turkey, it just comes back with a vengeance, that hunger and craving. So what you have to do is, it's really important to wean off. And if you wean off, it's so much better for you. And oh my gosh, it's so much better and so much easier. But if you cold turkey off, it's just miserable. And it's so much easier. So that's why I always tell people, just wean off. It makes so much more sense for you. The other thing is, if you're having the sulfur burps, or you feel like, you have a lot of like the indigestion and things like that, one of the good things that you can do is digestive enzymes. And I have been posting a lot of products lately from ZenWise on my Recrea Health page with digestive enzymes in them. And that is for the sulfur burps and the food sitting in your stomach. But stomach pain. So C. Marie and Monica, stomach pain is not normal, okay? Nausea, you might be able to have some of that. Vomiting and stomach pain are not normal. So if you have those two things, you need to get those checked, okay? Nausea, it might be something that you have to deal with. I tend to get nausea, but it's self-induced, to be honest with you. It's typically something that's self-induced. But the nausea and the fatigue, you really need to, a lot of times fatigue is because you don't get the B12. You're not getting a good B vitamin. So the fatigue can be helped with a good B vitamin, which a lot of times is, something that your provider can help you with. We can help you with that as well. I'm working on a white label for a vitamin that's really going to be helpful. A good multivitamin, which I just posted a video this morning for a good multivitamin for women. But then also the chronic nausea. You need to stay away from simple carbs. Simple carbs will cause nausea. But then the other thing that you need to do is get Zofran. I tend to have every stomach issue possible for people. I get the constipation, I get diarrhea, I get nausea, I get indigestion, I have gastritis. So I have a lot of these things that tend to happen with the stomach. So what I do is I make sure my bowels are moving every day. I take my fiber, I take a probiotic, Leaf Air, I take my magnesium 14-in-1. I have Miralax on hand. So if I don't have a bowel movement one day, I'm taking my Miralax. I really am very careful with my stomach because it does tend to get upset very easily. So, and I have my Zofran. I posted a video a little while back, like a week or so ago, the survival kit for GLPs. Watch that video because it has everything and anything that you need for to be healthy on these. So there's a lot of stuff that you really need to do to be healthy. Calorie deficit and 16 to 18 fasting is essential. I disagree with you, Stacy. Don't care. That's her name. I didn't say I don't care about her. It's her name, Stacy. Don't care. I do not like fasting. The reason I don't like fasting is because when you fast, now it's so if you don't eat after dinner at like 6 o'clock and then you go until 6 next day, that's about 12 hours. Well, 7. So that's about 13 hours. 8 o'clock is 14 hours. So I kind of see what you're saying, but I guess some people probably sleep until 9 and that's giving them 16 hours. So I kind of get what you're saying with the fasting, but here's the reason why I don't like fasting. If it's more than something like that, where it's like dinner to breakfast, the reasoning is because it's hard to get the protein. So protein, if you are doing more than, you can't get more than 40 grams in a 2-hour period. So it's hard to get that protein, and that's why I don't necessarily like fasting. But I do agree with the caloric deficit. But the protein is a little bit harder to get in that fasting. And I honestly think that if people are just doing smaller meals and getting your protein sprinkled throughout the day is a really good idea. And it really does work. And I've had 1,000 or more people on these now, and they really do. We've had great success in our clinic. And and not everybody's the same. So what I have found, we figure out what's best for you, and you do you. And when you do you and you figure out what works for you, that's the key. Okay. That's what's important. Figuring out what works for you. And, that's good. Oh, I wish insurance would cover for PCOS, but no, I've not found or heard of anybody with that yet. Anyone have thoughts on, we don't mention other pharmacies here because honestly, you purchase from us, That's why we don't mention other pharmacies here. So our S is $2.99 a month. There's no contracts, no membership fees, no cancellation fees. And our T is $4.50 a month. And that you have access to me and my team at all times. And we cover 47 states. Okay. I don't do the splitting. I mean, we have done splitting of the shots. We can do some microdosing, but honestly, still, if you are having pain in the stomach or if you are having a lot of vomiting, that's not good. That's not something that you should be having. Everybody, if you could please share my live, I would really appreciate it. And if you could please follow both of my pages, that would be fantastic as well. Both of my pages are Recrea Health and Recrea Wellness. Thank you very much. Pumpkin seed oil, I've not personally tried, but I have heard a lot of people saying that it's really good. So if you want to try that, that's fantastic. I've heard it's a good thing. All right. So Monica and C. Marie, I know you two are having a little chit chat together, which is fantastic. Stay away from simple carbs. If your dose might be too high, and I haven't seen either of you say what your dose is. And now I'm really far back on the comments, behind on my comments. Please DM me, both of you, and I would be more than happy to personally talk to both of you to figure out what's going on. Can you do these injections if you've had a gastric sleeve? Yes, you can. I have had several people do them, and they've done fantastic. And the gastric sleeve shrinks your stomach, but it doesn't do anything for the food noise and the cravings, and it doesn't do anything for the insulin resistance. And that's what these can do for you. Simple carbs are anything processed white, okay? So anything processed to be white is what a simple carb is. So basically, white flour, sugar, pasta, rice. Now, jasmine and basmati rice are not included in that because they are naturally white. So they are pretty good. So crackers. Somebody just said something about crackers. Whole grain crackers are okay, but be careful, because a lot of times crackers are salty. But yes, you can eat whole grain crackers. Yes, your NP can prescribe this for you, but what you need to be careful of is, or where you're going to get it from. I am an NP. I'm a nurse practitioner. So what I do is I write the prescription, I send it to my pharmacy, and I ship it directly to your house. If you're having pain and vomiting, and yes, that can be a sign of the pancreatitis. That's why I'm saying pain and vomiting are not normal. You need to go to urgent care or emergency room and get that checked, because it is not normal, and that is something that needs to be checked. The side effects are insane, and it is my biggest fear. Not everybody gets those side effects, but if you do, you need to get it checked. Can a 16-year-old go on these? Yes, they can. But what you need to do is you got to be very careful when you put younger people on these, because there's a lot of this with it. So you want to make sure that you're addressing all of the issues with it. You don't want to just stick them on this without making sure that you're dealing with all of this as well. Definitely. Insurances are crazy. These are injections that we're talking about, but they're approved for 12 and older. Hey, somebody said they're puking and they're on R because they overate. Well, first of all, you can throw up on all of these if you overeat. But again, R is not, it's not regulated. It's not regulated. So side effects, that is what we prevent, and we're very good at preventing them. I do a lot of teaching and educating. When you're not getting the information in the very beginning on how to prevent them, that is when you get a lot of side effects. Watch my pinned videos. My pinned videos will help you with that. Drop it off now. Yes, I know. But did you not just hear me say go to the emergency room? Definitely, I'm telling people if they need to go to the emergency room. And I'm not a doctor. Do you see up there? It says I'm an NP. I'm not saying I'm a doctor. Yeah, I know I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be a doctor. But you know what's happening, drop it off now, is nobody is educating people. Nobody is teaching people. So people are getting sick. People are having a lot of problems. So what I'm trying to do is help people understand so they can be safe. And Case and user bunch of number. Oh, okay. Case is defending me. Okay, sorry. User bunch of numbers. Yes, you. Okay, so you're saying poison, black box warning. Oh, come on. You guys are terrible. Hang on, we're getting rid of this one. Okay, that one's gone. All right. So thank you, Case, because what's happening, drop it off now. What is happening is people aren't getting educated. People are not getting information. So what they're doing is they're going to their primary care. They're going to their doctors a lot of times, or they're going to online pharmacies, or they're going to wherever and they're getting them, and nobody is educating and teaching. I am not saying I am a doctor. I am not saying that, I am saying that I'm not giving medical advice. I've been prescribing these for 4 years. I've been on them for 4 years. So what I am saying is I am giving information to keep people safe. I am giving information to help people to know when you need to go to the hospital, or when you need to go to your provider, or when you need to go and seek medical attention, because you can get sick on these. But what we do in my clinic is we give you the information up front so that you can be safe and so that you can prevent the issues and the side effects. Because yes, you can get the side effects. So what we have to do and that's what we do in my practice. I had somebody today. She had been on them before. And what I do when you come to my practice is I pretend like you've never been on them. And I tell you that right in the very beginning. Because when I tell you that, I don't do it to offend you, because it sounds like I could be offending you. As I say to you, I'm going to treat you like you haven't been on these before, or you don't know anything. Because I don't want to offend you. Because I've had nurses come to me, or I've had nurse practitioners, or I've actually even had doctors that have started the medications with me. And it's not like I don't want to offend you, but I want to make sure that I am giving you the information, because I don't want you to get sick. And that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I've been on this for months now, and I'm growing my pages. And I am doing this to try and keep people from getting sick. So that is what I'm doing, and that's what I'm trying to help people understand. Drop it off now, is that I want people to understand that if you don't do things the right way, if you don't eat the right way, if you aren't moving your bowels every single day, if you're not eating the right way, if you're not getting the protein, if you're not, getting the right calories, you're going to get sick. Or if you're vomiting, if you're having stomach pain and you don't go to the emergency room or you don't go to the urgent care, you might have pancreatitis. You need to go get checked. And if you've been here for a few minutes, you probably have already heard me say that. So yes, I'm not giving medical advice. It may sound like it if you hadn't been here for a few minutes, and I didn't say I was a doctor. I am a nurse practitioner, and that's on the screen. So I'm trying to make sure that people are healthy and staying healthy. And that's why I'm on here 3 to 4 or 5 times a week to try and make sure that people are healthy. So on that note, please follow me. Please share my page. Or please share my live. Thank you. Okay. I am totally lost on the Recreal Wellness page now, so I apologize. If you have asked a question and I did not answer your question, please DM me. I apologize because people over on the Recreal Health page are not being, somebody was being mean, but we got rid of them. And then somebody didn't understand my position, which I just answered them. Good afternoon, Cindy. Welcome. Okay. So, yes, you can. These are approved for 12 and older. So, just to let you know, somebody was asking about a 16-year-old. So here are the main side effects, okay? The typical side effects are nausea and constipation and sometimes diarrhea. So those are the 3 that you really need to pay attention to. And then rarely is pancreatitis. And then the one that everybody tends to be worried about is thyroid medullary cancer. If anybody in your family or if you have ever had thyroid medullary cancer, then you can't take it. But the crazy thing is, the only thing that has ever had thyroid medullary cancer is an overdosed rats. They've not had a case that I have heard of in the humans. Okay, constipation. Yes, constipation is the biggest one, and that is the one that typically puts people in the hospital. And it's impaction. So if you're not having a bowel movement, and I'm talking about a good bowel movement every day. Okay, so the best thing to do is fiber. I like Metamucil gummies. I love gummies. Okay, makes me think I'm getting gummy bears every day. All right. So Metamucil gummies or Mirafiber. And actually, I just saw a commercial for Mirafiber last night. Mirafiber actually has more fiber in it than Metamucil gummies. So I may be switching to Mirafiber when I run out of my Metamucil gummies. But Mirafiber or Metamucil, 3 of the Metamucil gummies a day, but you slowly work up to it. Don't go to the top dose right away because you're going to cuss me out. Okay. So what you do is you take those every day. Then you get one of the probiotics that I put on. Again, I like gummies. That's why I like Leafar. Leefar. It's pink bottle with yellow, or you do Zenwise, which is the digestive enzymes, and it has the probiotics in it as well. That one works really awesome. Both of them work really well. The third thing is the magnesium with, somebody says Mirafiber is delicious. So there you go. I'm going to switch this next time just to try them out. But, and they have more fiber. Then the third thing is the magnesium 14-in-1. It's by Vev, V-E-V. Okay, they are delicious as well. I really like them. I take 1 or 2 of them a night depending on what my day looked like bowel movement wise. Then the fourth thing is if I don't have a bowel movement that day, I take Miralax. Okay. So that is the 4 things that I have for my bowels. Then that is what you do. All right. Veronica?
Yes.
Is that Sean?
Yes.
You can just look at it.
Okay. Want me to take the dressing off?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So
Alright.
that is constipation. That is what you have to do about that. Okay. All right. Then but stomach pain and vomiting are not normal. Reach out to your provider. Okay. I'm on W and I get the worst headaches. So headaches are also not a normal thing. And you need to reach out to your provider about that one as well. Because headaches are, that could be your blood sugar, that could be your heart rate, that could be your blood pressure, dehydration. So that could be any of those things as well. Oh, the other thing is there's one that I posted. It's called Senna Plus. I don't have it in here. I was going to show you. Senna Plus. It's in a green and a light green bottle. And that is something that works really, really well. And I don't take it until I'm like 3 days, no bowel movement. And it is very effective. So I would recommend taking it if you don't go, or Docalax is the other one that you can use. But be careful with both of those. And Docalax and Cineplus will cause cramping. So just beware. If pain and vomiting we already answered that. But yes, if you're having pain and vomiting, then you definitely need to get that checked, unless you took Docalax, which is going to cause cramping. All right, we just talked about constipation. Throwing up is not good. All right. So when you're weaning off, all right, let's just change subject completely. When you're weaning off, typically we try for 1 to 2 months and we stretch that out. We decrease the dose and then we do the dose every 10 to 14 days. And then sometimes it just depends on each person, because what you might have to do is you decrease the dose every month. Then you get down to the lower doses and then you stretch it out 10 to 14 days. So each individual person is different. I started Saturday, been sick, only 2.5 milligram. If you started on Saturday and you gave a full dose of 2.5 milligram, that's why. Because you should have had 0.25 milligram, not a full 2.5 milligram. So user GG, that you may have gave yourself too much, and that might be the problem. Just got my hormone levels done. 7 estradiol, progesterone, 59. Okay. So when we do our hormone levels, we check the testosterone, estradiol, FSH. We don't always check the progesterone, but that does sound low on your progesterone, and your estradiol is low as well. But I would also have them check your testosterone, because that definitely would make sense. But yeah, those are all pretty low. But we check all of them. And then what other symptoms do you have as well? So we check all symptoms and labs, and we do your dosing based off of labs and hormones and symptoms. Sorry, I can't talk today. Okay, S versus T. Which one's better? Okay, this is always a great topic. So what we do here at my clinic is S has been out the longest, T is the newer one. But here's the interesting, is S and T are one molecule different, but in our clinic, $151 difference. So a lot of times what we do is we say start with S because it's been out the longer and it's a lot less expensive. So we'll start out with S, see how you do, until you plateau, or maybe you have a side effect from it or something like that, and then we'll switch it. And then that's when we switch, just because most people do great. Most people have no problems whatsoever. All right. I cannot L on MJ and have gained. Have fatigue, heart. Okay. What I would recommend, Sonia, she was talking about hormones, is DMing me, and I can definitely help you figure out what's going on, because you do have a lot going on, and it's not just the insulin resistance and the diabetes, it's hormones, diabetes, and all of that, and I could definitely help you. So DM me, and I could definitely help you with that. Okay, somebody else. I'm on compound T, started week 8, 4 milligram. Can I only use my arms? For pew-pews instead of jabs. I like it. I like the stomach. For 4 years, I've only ever used my stomach. So you can use your stomach, you can use your legs, outer thighs for legs, I mean, and you can use the back of your arms. Absolutely. You can use all of those. I like the stomach because it's the most effective. Even when I've had side effects, I use my stomach. But legs,
Why don't you keep that on?
okay, if you're not a fan of the stomach, then use your outer thighs or your arms. Because the thighs, I found you can, from people, from TikTok videos, the thighs, you can have a little bit more bleeding. And the arms are fine. So, either or is fine. But I like the stomach. If you can't take Sofran, there's another medication called promethazine or Phenergan. And not Phenergan, promethazine or Phenergan. No, Phenergan. So those are stomach pills. No. Never mix GLPs with another GLP. Somebody asked if you could put R and T. Absolutely never do that. You will totally shut your system down. Do not do that. If you've had a previous small bowel obstruction from adhesions, do you think it would be safe to take a GLP? I would definitely talk to your GI doctor. I probably wouldn't be comfortable doing that. That would be a rough one. That would be something I would definitely have to talk to your GI doctor about that one. Thighs hurt, stomach for me. Yeah, I never have injected my own thigh. I did inject somebody's thigh this morning. You guys want to know a trick to make it not hurt anywhere? Pinch with your fingernails. So if you pinch with your fingernails, your brain is so worried about your fingernails that you'll never feel the needle. Seriously. So just pinch with your fingernails in there, like you gouge your nails in there. It'll never feel the needle anywhere on your body. I'm on MJ, largest dose, have stopped, L, food noise, protein. I am not kidding you. If you have that food noise come back and it's like really intense or you have a really bad craving for something, protein. And what's awesome is there are so many different flavors of protein. Most of the time when you have a certain craving, when you have a certain craving for a protein, a lot of times there's a flavor of a protein. So for instance, mint chocolate chip ice cream, there's a mint protein. We have it in our office. There's a mint flavored protein. So I can just have a mint chocolate shake or mint ice cream, or sorry, a mint chocolate chip protein shake. And it's going to make me think that I have that in the ice cream. So it's like you just sit there and think, oh, yeah, this tastes great. So you can trick yourself, So that's what I try to do. But protein will get rid of the food noise and the cravings. If it doesn't, then what I would recommend is giving me a call or a text, because there's some other tricks that you can do. But also watch the video that I posted on Saturday, because there's a lot of really good information in there that you can try or talk to your provider about trying, because there's some cool stuff that you can do. So medullary thyroid cancer is the only reason why you can't take these if you have thyroid stuff. So somebody had MIN2 and MTC, which I'm not sure what those are, but if any of those are medullary thyroid cancer, then no, you cannot take these. But if it's not medullary thyroid cancer, but the thyroid was still removed, then yes, you can take these. Okay. Zepbound. All of them. They're pretty darn effective, but you have to watch my pinned videos and you have to watch a lot of the information that is out there, because you need to make changes. You can't just take these and miraculously think they're going to do their job. You have to do things yourself to make them, to have it work. It's not just going to do its job by itself. Outer thighs. Always inject in the outer thigh. Don't inject in the inner thigh. That's something we learned in nursing school, and somebody asked me why, and it has to do with the vascularity and the adipose tissue of the outer thigh. We just never really did the inner thigh. The inner thigh is more skin than it is a subcutaneous tissue. If I went to L about 25, am I able to get this? Yes. So the process is you have to DM me. I can't give you any other information on here on TikTok because TikTok won't let me. So you have to DM, and then we'll give you the rest of the process. I'm sorry about that, but that's what TikTok wants. So I have to do as TikTok wants. But all of these medications are very effective, but you do have to make changes, and that's what we teach you to do. Okay. Yeah, if you're picking up your stuff today, it's amazing. It's life changing. That's my picture in the background. I absolutely love who I am today, and I never want to go back to who I was, and I don't plan on it. All right, on average, so with us, it's almost immediately the effect. But with a lot of these other places, I've been hearing that they are never feeling it. So I can't answer you, but most of the time with us, it's pretty quickly. I would recommend if you're starting it anywhere else that you watch my videos. Make sure you're getting your protein. Make sure you're getting your hydration. Make sure you're listening to your brain, because your brain is going to tell you you're not craving, you're not hungry. You need to listen to your brain. You need to break your habits. If you don't break your habits, then it's not going to do its job. But you have to listen to your body, and you have to listen to what your body is telling you. Watch my pinned videos, especially my pinned videos on my Recrea Health page. Very, very important. Follow both of my pages, but my main page is Recrea Health. My backup page is Recrea Wellness. Please share both of my pages. Please follow both of my pages. Could everybody please share my live? I really do appreciate it. Okay. Never needed to go above 0.25. That's fantastic. Consistently lost 1 to 2 a week. And then that's normal. 1 to 3 a week for women, 3 to 5 a week for guys. Now, when you get into that 24.9 to the 28.29 BMI, it gets hard. Gets really hard. You have to put in more effort, which is normal, and that's okay. And then, that we can help you with that. But it is normal. Wow, good job. I'm going to call you Mrs. Brown because I don't know. Just got a weird message there. Oh, wow. Inflammation marker. That is very cool, Stancy in the city. That is really cool. Her inflammation marker was at 13, went down to 3. That is amazing. I really love that for you. Okay, now I just got lost again. Hold on a second here. Oops. Okay, TikTok's playing games with me. I kind of love it, right? Okay, make sure you're following both my pages while I figure out where the heck I'm going. Sunflower seeds, I wouldn't think those are bad for you. I think they actually have protein in them. I wouldn't say very much protein. You probably have to eat a ton of them first. How should I mention to my physician that I would like to start GLP? Just do it. And then if they don't want to listen to you or they won't do it, then just call me or DM me. If your physician isn't okay talking to you, or you're not okay talking to your physician about this, that's a problem. You should be really comfortable talking to your physician about this. How can you control inflammation when you come off a GLP? Talk to your provider. That's a hard one. A lot of times people are microdosing and they're doing just great with their inflammation on these, and they do fantastic. That's a hard one because I've heard a lot of people say they do really good with their inflammation. That's a hard one. A lot of people are saying that these have just totally changed their lives and that it's been fantastic. I only increase the dose when you are having increased food noise and you are having increased cravings. That's the only time I recommend it. So somebody is saying that thyroid cancer studies for GLP show no short-term risk. Use 1 to 4 years. Okay, so there is actually research out there that is over 20 years now on these, and I actually have never seen anything greater, having increased risk greater than for thyroid cancer for more than being on it longer term. I have not seen that, Danny, so I will look and see if I can find something, but I have not seen that research. Gently, Dirk, I don't know about all of that you're asking. Idiopathic intracranial hypertension and jugular compression, that would be a question that you probably would have to ask your specialist, because I don't know that there's any research on there about that. I have no idea. That's such a specialized, specific thing that I don't know that there's even any research on there. Or I've never even seen any research or heard anybody else say anything about that. So I can't answer you that question. All right, hair loss, always a question. Get your protein. Extremely important. So protein is really, really important. You need women 100 grams a day, guys 120 grams a day. Then the other thing that I highly recommend is collagen. I personally, this is my favorite collagen, Nutrafol. Highly recommend, and I would say you want to try to take this every day. Any collagen is fine, but this is my favorite. Dermatologist recommended, by the way. And then hair vitamins. This is also my favorite, Nutrafol. If you're interested, you could please DM me. Jesse, I don't know if anybody has actually done the research on how it does help with inflammation. GLPs help with inflammation. I think it might have been an accident that it's been found and figured out that it does actually help. But I have seen in my lives over and over and over again the past few months that we've been doing these, that people are saying that it does. My guess is it has something to do with the insulin resistance and how the insulin resistance is improving all of the hormones in the body. And when the insulin resistance is affecting, it affects the cortisol levels, all of the hormones in the body, and the thyroid, and all of those things. So I think it's probably has something to do with all of that. But I don't know, so don't quote me. But I haven't seen any research yet to specifically say how it does it. I just know it does. Within 2 days after the first pew inflammation was gone, it works. My hair has always been thin. I have been thin since I was a kid. So this is nothing new for me. My hair actually did not fall out anymore with these because I've always done my protein. I've always done my collagen, and I've always done, I do my hair vitamins on and off. I'm not very religious with those, but I do always do my collagen and I do my protein. Yeah. And no offense taken. Don't worry about it. It's always a question, but I have always had thin hair. I did do extensions for a long time. And so you'll notice in some of my videos that I do have this long, flowy hair. That was extensions. And when we did take the extensions out, I had a lot of breakage, and that was from the extensions. And I'm finally actually getting my normal length back, but that was the breakage from the extensions, not from the GLPs. So this is I'm finally getting a lot of my hair back, but it was from the extensions. Yeah, lesson learned. Lesson learned. All right. On the recreational health wellness side, sorry. I'm totally lost. I have no idea where I'm at on there. But if I did not answer your question, DM me, please, and I will definitely get back to you. I have no idea where I'm at on there. So please reach out to me. Advice for stomach pain: ER, ECG, CT scan, blood work all normal. All right, not constipated. Okay, so thank you for going and getting all of that done. I hope they checked you for pancreatitis, which it sounds like they probably did. But digestive enzymes. You need digestive enzymes. You need probiotic. You need to make sure you're doing your fiber, you're doing a probiotic. And I like Leafair, but you can do any of them. So I would do Mira Fiber. I would do Leafair, the magnesium 14-in-1. I would make sure that you're doing the digestive enzymes, and then maybe ask for Bentyl, Bentyl, because Bentyl can help with the spasms if you're having that. But before I would even do the Bentyl, I would do digestive enzymes, and I would take everything else that I told you. I like Leafair because it's a gummy. That's the only reason why I like it. Now, you can do ZenWise, and it has a probiotic and the digestive enzyme in it together. Now, I do have 3 different Zenwises that I'm promoting on my Recrea Health page, but it is the one that I've been promoting the longest that has the digestive enzymes, the probiotic in it together. So you can do that one. Or if you want to do the Leaf Air, which is the gummy, there's a video with a goat. It's actually our goat that is called No Bloat. And that one is digestive enzymes as well. So you can do that also. And then I just received a new Zenwise that is all digestive enzymes also. So just straight digestive enzymes. I don't have a video on that one yet, but I should either today or tomorrow. All right. 80 tips on Elling fast. Okay. Here's the thing. This is not fast. We don't recommend fast because fast doesn't stay off. So, and a lot of times you said doing a calorie deficit and going to the gym. So a lot of times, especially if you're going to the gym and you're going hardcore to the gym, what happens is you might be in too much of a calorie deficit and your body won't let you L. So a lot of times you need to add in more calories so that your body can L. So you need to look at that. So, but we don't want fast. Women need to be 1 to 3 a week and guys are 3 to 5 a week, because if you have too much L too fast, then it won't stay off. So that's where we don't want a lot too fast. It just isn't a good idea. All right. So Beaky says that afraid to start. Don't be afraid. It's okay. This is great. It's if you watch my videos and you do the things that are recommended, you won't be. It's fantastic. That's really interesting because I started eating a bit more and I would L more. See, Angela's not crazy, people. I actually do know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if you don't eat enough, you won't L. You really have to eat because your body needs it. You have to fuel your fire, because if you don't fuel the fire, then it won't come off. Your body has to have that. I am so sorry, guys, about this horrible glare that's on me. It's like crazy. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, you have to feed that fire, because if you don't, it won't go away. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? All right. How can you control inflation? All right, we already answered that. Nausea, get Zofran. If you're nauseous, get Zofran. If your doctor won't help you, then you know what? I will. I would love to have you in my family. Yeah, I really would. If you want to lose L, sorry, I almost said the bad word. If you want to L 15 to 20, yes, call us. We can help you. We never, ever let anybody's BMI get less than 15 to 20 or 22. Sorry. We never let anybody's BMI get less than 22. Never. Okay. So, and a lot of times your body won't let you either. So, it depends on, if you want that L of 15 to 20, then we have to really work with you and figure out if you can, but you just need to reach out to us. I started on Monday. You're giving me, I don't know what you're giving me. You said 0.07, but I don't know if that's milligrams, if that's units, or what that is. I need more. All right. I tell people, is it better to start low or titrate up? We keep you at the lowest dose we can keep you at for as long as we can keep you there. There is no reason to go up if you are doing good at the lower dose. So if you are not having any hunger or craving at the lowest dose, stay there. If you go up, you're going to have more hunger or you're going to have more risk of side effects. So just stay at the lowest dose. That's how I tell people to do. If you start and you don't have any suppression of that hunger and craving, that sometimes can be normal, guys. So, you just need to hang in there and let the meds do their job. But make sure you're getting your protein, make sure you're staying hydrated, and communicate to your providers. And the other thing is, don't increase next week just because this past week you didn't feel anything, because you might make yourself sick. Because your body has to acclimate to these, because you can make yourself really, really sick. All right, 2.5 of Z for 4 months. For 4 months? Why? I don't understand that. Now at 5 had nausea. Okay, I start people on S, and we start at 0.25. And that works really, really well. And people do well on that. This light is really bad. I'm going to see if I can fix this. Hang on, sorry. Let me see if that works, because that is really bad. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we start on S, we start at 0.25, and on T, we start at 3 milligrams. And RS is 5 milligram of 1 ml, and our T is 20 milligram of 1 ml. So we, and then that's our dosing that we start out at. I almost always start people on S because it's a lot less expensive, and then we work our way up. And then if they ever have issues with side effects on S, or, they stall, then we talk about going to T. I have my first visit on Monday, also very nervous. I'm allergic to so much, I'm afraid. Hang in there. A lot of times, there's not a lot of allergic reactions to these, but if, you're going to start out really slow. If you're somebody that's worried, make sure you communicate that to your provider. They can definitely help you. All right. Have you heard of anyone having heart palpitations? I have AFib, and I had a cardioversion. Yeah, there are a few that I have heard of that do have heart palpitations. Not very many. It's very, very rare that I have heard people say that they do have those. And but what's super cool about these are they are cardioprotective. So a lot of people can take them, and they're perfectly fine. But I'm glad you're talking with your heart doctor and they are helping you with this, because that's really important. What is required before starting? So we have a pretty intense questionnaire that you have to fill out, and then you have to talk with me, and then we go over everything with you to make sure that you're a candidate. And you have to have the right BMI. We do a telehealth visit with you. Is there a risk of blindness? Typically, blindness is only people with diabetic retinopathy. That is typically the only people that we have to worry about it. Now, I have spoke to ophthalmologists and things like that and asked them, and it's very, very, very rare. But what I tell people is, if you are worried about it, or if you do have any change in your vision, then you need to speak with somebody. Go see your eye doctor immediately. No, sunflower seeds aren't bad. I think they have protein in them, so that's not bad. I would watch the salt. So if you've been on these for 2.5, 2.5 weeks, and you are only down 1, then I would definitely talk to your provider, because it's only 2.5 weeks, so that might be normal for you. Women are 1 to 3 a week. Guys are 3 to 5 a week. Typically in our program, that's a little low, what you're saying, Stephen. So I would definitely talk to your provider. Yeah, because but everybody's different. Only the outside of the thighs. So you only want to do the outer part of your thigh, not the inside of the thigh. Sometimes you can do the upper or the top of your thigh, but not recommended. Only the outer part. So the over-the-counter medication for nausea, ginger. A lot of people say ginger. There might be some teas out there that you can get for nausea. I don't really know. Yeah, maybe. I've heard ginger can help with nausea. I think maybe lavender, but I have heard ginger. All right. Yes, you should be able to take thyroid with Rybelsus, but I'm not a good one with Rybelsus. If you're worried, I would ask your pharmacist. How long does it take to kick in? Typically, with us, it's usually within the first couple of days. Most of them are within the first couple of days, but you need to make sure you're getting your protein. Women, 100 grams a day, guys, 120 a day. You need to stay hydrated. And then if you're not getting that, then check your concentrations on your vials, because there's a video I posted on the Recrea Health side that shows that you are seeing a lot of times that there's the S 1 milligram per 1 ml, 2.5 milligram per 1 ml, and then we have 5 milligram per 1 ml, and then T, there's a ton of different concentrations, but ours is 20 milligram of 1 ml. But there are so many different concentrations, I can't even name them all. So you want to make sure that you're getting a good concentration, because what they're doing is they're giving people, I had somebody that was the 1 milligram of 1 ml, and she was getting like, I think it was 10 units of it. That is nothing. That isn't going to make you feel full at all. So you need to make sure that you're asking a lot of questions and you're looking at your vials, because that isn't going to make you feel full, and that's not going to help with your hunger. So ask questions. What does it mean when you're craving something salty? Hey, I don't know. I don't know. I would say maybe you're thirsty. I don't know. I would. I don't know. That's a good one. I would just eat something salty. It might have to do with your thirst or your hydration levels. And I always say when your body is craving something, give it to it, because your body knows what you need. So you need to listen to your body. All right. Okay. Sometimes, guys, just to let you know, TikTok is blocking questions. I see them. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Yes, you can make your protein shake into an ice cream. You can do that, and it really does work, and it tricks your brain, which is fantastic. All right, if your blood sugar keeps dropping, you need to make sure that you're getting protein with every meal and you're not going too long in between your meals. That's really, really important. When I inject my arm, the appetite suppression is more effective. And everybody is different. I tell you guys every time, do you. Whatever works best for you, do you. My favorite place to give my shot is in my belly. Always happen. The stomach is more effective just because of the concentration of adipose tissue there, and that's why it's more effective. Plus, it's closer to the belly. What if you have IBS? Hey, I have IBS and I have it both ways. So I'm always battling both ways. You have to do your fiber, you have to do your probiotic, you have to do the magnesium, and you have to have Miralax on hand. But if you have the diarrhea, you do the first three. If you have the constipation, you add in the Miralax. And you know what? It works fantastically. And then if that doesn't work, you talk to your GI doctor, and then they can help you figure out what you need to do. And then Linzess is always fantastic if you have constipation. But you have to manage it, and you manage it well, and you start managing it before you even go on them. Yes, it's amazing. If you have thyroid nodules, yes, you can take this, but you need to talk to your provider just to make sure. When should I ask the GLP to increase? When you have hunger and cravings. And it's perfectly fine for a lot of people. There's not really any reasons why you can't. If you have stage 3 kidney failure, you have to talk to your provider to see what they can do. My thoughts on and somebody says, I know you can't prescribe it. What are your thoughts? Actually, I have no thoughts on R because it's not approved yet. So I haven't even looked at it at all. And it's in the gray market. So I haven't even touched it. I haven't even looked at it. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fantastic once it's released. I think it's always great when we have new improved medications out on the market. It's supposed to work better, but I wouldn't use it yet because it's not been released, and the stuff that's out there now is dangerous. And I've actually heard of quite a few people getting sick on it. So I would not use what is available right now because it's coming from out of the country. It's coming from foreign countries, and nobody knows what's in it. So it's being used for research purposes only. And a lot of times when you're getting your vials, it's in foreign languages, and it is very scary what what people are injecting in themselves, and they have no idea what is in these vials. And that's what's super, super scary. So I would just stay far, far away from it at this point. Let's just wait until Lily's done researching it. I use a pharmacy out of New Jersey, and it's the one that I've used for a really, really long time. And I've used them for 4 years. It's the one I use for my family and everybody. I own my own clinic. I am not paid by anybody. Nobody owns me. I own my own clinic. I have a physician that I work with. I have my collaborating physician, and that is so nobody pays me or owns me or anything like that. Like I see a lot of these other providers out there that have somebody that promotes them. I do not have a promoter or anything like that. It's just me and then my staff. I just had my first boost and dose and have ear reaction at the site. No, that's not normal. Sometimes it can be the alcohol pad. Sometimes it can be what it's mixed with. So it depends on if it's the compounded. If it's the compounded, make sure you talk to your provider because you said it is compounded. So talk to your provider because it can be what it's mixed with, and they can change what it's mixed with, and that might get rid of it. So I've thyroid nodules. I've been on Z since January. I'm due now for an ultrasound. Definitely get your ultrasound checked. Check the nodules because they want to make sure on that. Hopefully no changes on those. But if there is changes, it's probably not related to the GLP, but they're going to check it, which is a good thing. All right. So yes, the way to decrease the nausea is to decrease the amount that you're injecting. Get Zofran. I don't even think Zofran helps much. Oh, okay. You could try ginger, but I would definitely decrease the dose because the nausea is coming from the amount that you're injecting. Also, no simple carbs. Do not eat any simple carbs, at least day 1, 2, 3, because day 1, 2, 3 is when you're going to be the most nauseous. So just don't eat simple carbs at all. I would stay far, far, far away from those guys. Okay. All right. I'm trying to get through these questions. I am way behind, and we're going to be on here about 9 more minutes, everybody. The side effects you need to watch out for are the nausea and constipation. If you stay away from the simple carbs, usually those aren't that bad. And then just stay away from those, especially the first 3 days. No, a lot of people don't need to increase the dose. They can stay where they're at, and they're fine. If you haven't stopped throwing up, you need to go to the urgent care or the emergency room. Contact your provider immediately because, yes, you have to. I love pellets. The hormone pellets, love them. I've been getting them for 4 years now, maybe 4.5 years. I'm due next week. I love them. Love them. And I give them to my patients, and they are amazing. Hormone pellets are phenomenal. I hope I never, ever have to live without them, to be honest with you. Hormone pellets are amazing. Sulfur bursts, digestive enzymes. Some people say Pepto-Bismol. Sulfur burps, and then never eat whatever it was that that you got. Don't ever eat what caused the sulfur burps again. All right. I tell people, okay, somebody asked if you're not hungry, should you eat? First of all, when you're first getting on these, I tell people learn to listen to your body telling you if you're not hungry, don't eat. But if you are constantly not hungry, then you need to decrease your dose. But at first, you need to learn to listen to your brain. But eventually, you have to eat. You have to eat. Because if you're not eating, then that's not good, because you have to get your protein, you have to get your calories, because eventually your body is going to say to you, you're in a state of starvation and you're going to stop L'ing altogether. You have to eat, okay? So if your calories are too low, your protein, you're not getting that in, that is not good for you. You're going to lose your hair, you're going to lose your muscle, you're going to end up in a state of starvation, and that is not a good state for anybody, okay? What are hormone pellets? I haven't heard of them. Are they they're a replace for creams, and they are replaced for a lot of things, for any other kind of hormone shot or anything. So if you DM me, I can help you with this, but hormone pellets are phenomenal. You have to go into a physical clinic to get them. But I personally like one company that I use. But yeah, DM me and I can direct you. But what's great, and there's a lot of different companies out there. So there's one company in particular, it's Biote, BIOTE.com. And that's who I use in my clinic. And it's a phenomenal program. But please DM me first, because I want to make sure that you get in touch with a good provider, and I can help you with that. But hormone pellets are life-changing. They are absolutely life-changing, but I can definitely help you. But we also do the creams across the country as well, and we can do your labs, and we can do everything. How do you send a DM? Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you're on your phone, there's these dots down at the bottom. No, there's this little, okay, there's this little arrow down at the bottom. I had to actually look at it, so I'm not laughing at you. There's this little arrow down at the bottom of your phone. You click that arrow, and then there's a thing pops up, and that's how you do it. I had to actually click it. I'm not laughing at you, because I'm laughing at me, because I had to actually do it. Okay. Yes, you need to eat. So there you go. All right, before you start, go to your, before you start any GLPs, watch my pinned videos, but go to my Recrea Health side and watch a lot of my videos. There are a lot of them on the Recrea Wellness, but a lot of the videos are on my other side. With T pellets for females, what is a good number for testosterone goal? 150 to 250 is what we do. We try to get you to 150 to 250, but that 150 to 200 is like a really good spot. Mine typically rides right around 200, and that's when I feel fantastic. And I do estradiol and progesterone. The estradiol is in my pellets, and the progesterone I take at bedtime. GLP pills or injection all day long. Okay, so this person said she's jealous because GLP work for everybody, but it makes her so sick. Megan, DM me and I could probably help you, because there are a lot of information out there, and I've been able to help people be able to do this and keep them from getting sick. Estradiol patches aren't the best because a lot of people don't absorb them very well and effectively, and I can get you some good information on them to be able to help you really understand that. I can't keep patches on to save my life because the patches are always sliding off of me. So I can help you with that as well. Yeah, patches, they just don't stick on me. I'm just not a sticky I'm not a patch person, I guess. I don't know what, they don't stick on me. They fall right off of me. All right. So I'm just trying to answer these questions because I've got just a couple more minutes. So If I didn't answer your question, please DM me, reach out to me, and I would love to answer your question. So we figured out together here, Connie and Chris and I, that all you have to do is hit the little arrow down at the bottom. That's how you DM me or message me or anything like that. And I will be more than happy to answer you, my team and I. We could definitely help you because I got lost today. I am so sorry. And mainly on the recreational wellness side. Somebody said they love estradiol patches. Hey, if they work for you, fantastic. But you know what? We do a lot of blood work around here. And I have only found one woman out of all the blood work what I've done, and I'm talking hundreds of blood work, one woman that did not need testosterone. Bless you. One woman that did not need testosterone. And nobody that out around me, GYN or primary or whoever, tests for testosterone. And it's sad. And a lot of times we go to the darn doctor, and what does the darn doctor or the darn primary or the GYN, they tell you, oh, you're just getting old. Deal with it. Sorry about your luck. Screw you. I'm 51. I don't want to feel like I'm darn 51. What? I know. I don't want to feel this old. Dang you. And I don't want to look like that lady in the picture back there. No way, Jose. I don't want to deal like, no way, Jose. All right. I didn't mine when was I do a lot of him. Well, mine has never been high. And most of the women that I check is under 12. And I wanted we try to get it up to 150 to 200. So, but you have a lot of letters in there. Designed for you. How much, do you know what your number was? Because I've only had one that was actually, I think hers was like 45 and we didn't inject her or we didn't give her any testosterone. But most women are under 12, 45 and over. Actually, the crazy thing, I had within the last month 5 redheads in here getting pellets. And it was so weird. 5 redheads. I was like, what in the world is happening out here in this wonderful town of Medina? It was so crazy. And one of them was a professional tennis player, and the other one was a marathon runner. And I was just like, okay, this is really insane. But yeah, 5 redheads. I was just like, this is really crazy around here. But yeah, it's so. We do the hormones. We do a lot of hormones. We could do it nationally. We also do the GLPs nationally. But like I said, I care less if you buy from us. You can. We definitely can. But RS is $2.99 in most states. RT is $4.50 in most states. And I'm more than happy to just do a free consultation just to make sure that you're safe. If you have any questions or concerns or any thoughts, just DM and we can get you the information. So just reach out, but just please help support my pages, Recrea Health and Recrea Wellness. And I am more than happy to answer any questions. We did have some grumpy people on here today. But hey, it's par for the course. Actually, all week we've had more grumpy people. I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. Today's a full moon, by the way. It's supposed to be absolutely beautiful tonight. So, anything you guys can think of, just please follow me. I have my Recrea Health page and my Recrea Wellness page. I am always on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So anything that you ever need, I am going to be on early tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock Eastern time, probably like 9:15. So anything that you need, please reach out. I am here. More than happy. There's more contact information in my, I don't know if you call it demographics. I don't know what you call it, but please reach out anytime. All right.